Good morning, brothers and sisters. Have you shouted for joy yet? I like to shout for joy that I'm my beloved's, and his desires for me. Truly, I treasure that I can love him in return. It is the echo of love. He loves me wholeheartedly. He loves us with his steadfast love, and I'm willing to love him with all my heart and loved him steadfastly. I'm grateful that there is Song of Solomon in the Bible. The secrets of the Lord is his desires for me. He pursues me with the desire of the beloved since ages ago. I'm predestined to be his darling through the Song of Solomon. I'm created to be his very heart of the Lord, his darling love. I like to sing a hymn with you to worship the Lord. I wrote this hymn on the rooftop at Macau in 1982. I can say we have taken our small steps to preach the gospel in Macau. I had the honor to be part of the team, but the most precious thing was I have experienced the love of the Lord deeply. I have experienced many of his words spoken to me. I believed the Lord for 2 years at that time. I really treasure the Song of Solomon, and I read it every day in Macau when drawing near him. Of course, I also read other books in the Bible, but the Song of Solomon really attracted my heart. Then I took those verses which impressed me from chapter 1 to chapter 8 in Song of Solomon and composed them into a song with the melody. As in Hymnal 2, Song 154, Echoes of Love. Without further ado, let us sing the whole song. My darling among the maidens, like a lily among the thorns, my darling, beautiful one, may you arising come along. Let me hear your voice. Let me see your face. For your voice is sweet, your voice is sweet, and lovely is your face. My sister, my bride, a glance of your eyes stills my heart. My sister, my bride, a strand of your nakedness stills my heart. My darling is charming as Tirzah, lovely as Jerusalem, awesome as an army with banners. You are altogether lovely. My beloved among the young men, like an apple tree in the forest. His banner over me is love. His love has captured my heart. My beloved's among the young men, like an apple tree in the forest. His banner over me is love. His love has captured my heart.
My beloved is dazzling and ruddy, outstanding among 10,000. I'm in my beloved's is mine, and his desire is for me. Sets me as a seal, set me as a seal upon your heart. Set me as a seal, set me as a seal upon your arm, until the cool of the day, when the shadows flee away. Make haste, my beloved, be like a gazelle on the mountains of spices.
This song reminds me of when I was a young believer. I remembered Brother Daniel had the Bible study for Song of Solomon with us. I really enjoyed it and was amazed. He said there was not much hymn speaking of the compliments of the Lord to us. Yet, there are lots of compliments and admiration from the Lord to us in Song of Solomon. Truly, there was not much hymn regarding the contents from Song of Solomon at that time. As a result, I composed a hymn with the verses which attracted me. After I finished the first stanza, I found that I have to respond to the Lord, not only the praising of the Lord to me, and I shall give him the compliments as well. Thus, here I had the second stanza, and I named it as Echoes of Love. It was my response to the love of the Lord to me. I should say I was a young believer at that time, though I wrote some hymns for myself to sing. I shared with brothers and sisters. Yet the hymn which I wrote was published in God's Family Hymnal the first. I was grateful that it was my record of my expression of love to him while I was a young believer at that time. As you can hear, I'm not good at singing. Yet I'm gracious to the Lord that I have written this song to him. Most of the time I wrote it for myself to sing to him. Some of them really impressed me, but the most impressive one is this one, Echoes of Love. How about we sing this hymn again?
My darling among the maidens, like a lily among the thorns, my darling, beautiful one, may you arising come along. Let me hear your voice. Let me see your face. For your voice is sweet, your voice is sweet, and lovely is your face. My sister, my bride, a glance of your eyes stills my heart. My sister, my bride, a strand of your nakedness stills my heart. My darling is charming as the sun, lovely as Jerusalem. Awesome as an army with banners, you are altogether lovely. My beloved among the young men, it's like an apple tree in the forest. His banner over me is love. His love has captured my heart. My beloved's among the young men, it's like an apple tree in the forest. His banner over me is love. His love has captured my heart. My beloved is dazzling and ruddy, outstanding among 10,000. I'm in my beloved's is mine, and his desire is for me. Sets me as a seal, sets me as a seal upon your heart. Set me as a seal, set me as a seal upon your arm, until the cool of the day, when the shadows flee away. Make haste, my beloved, be like a gazelle on the mountains of spices.
Lord, it's so precious. It is you who make known to us our value. We found ourselves from your compliments and admiration. We knew we have the most important position in your heart. It is so wonderful. You have loved us since ages ago, and you will love us until eternity. We are created to be your darling. How precious. We are united with you. We are your darling love. Oh Lord, you're worthy for us to love you in return. You're worthy for the echoes of love from the whole universe. Lord, you're the most beautiful, chief among 10,000. O Lord, may our hearts love you even more. Brothers and sisters, I hope you have time to come to the Lord and enjoy the love of the Lord. Let's stop the recording and we'll read the Bible when you're done. May the Lord bless you. Brothers and sisters, we'll read the last verse in Song of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 14. Shall we read this verse? Make haste, my beloved, and be a gazelle or a young stag on the mountains of spices. First of all, I'd like to give thanks to the Lord that I have shared with you the total of 117 verses in Song of Solomon by 90 recordings. I can say I have shared with you my impression and understanding verse by verse. Song of Solomon is a great help to me. I hope you will like it. And I will continue to read a few verses in Song of Solomon every day. It helps me in my meditation as well as my enjoyment in the love of the Lord. Now we're reading the last verse, which is very treasurable. Make haste, my beloved, and be a gazelle or a young stag on the mountains of spices. This is the love desire of the darling. Her voice is the same as the Lord, whom spoke of his love dream in the Gospel according to John chapter 17. The Lord said to the Father, Father, I desire that they also, whom you have given me, may be with me where I am, to see my glory that you have given me, because you loved me before the foundation of the world. It is also the love dream of the Lord. He said to the Father, Father, I desire that they also, whom you have given me, may be with me where I am. The Lord loves us deeply. True love yearns for the closeness to be together. The Lord longs for us to be with him forever. He revealed his desire on the last evening on earth. We may be with him where he is. And that's not all. His desire has not changed after his resurrection and in glory. The last book in the Bible, in chapter 22, verse 20, in Revelation to John, chapter 22, verse 20 mentioned, Surely I'm coming soon. He said he is coming soon. Brothers and sisters, this love dream is soon to be accomplished, for the one who wants to come soon is the Lord. He is the Lord who wants his love dream come true. We will see him face to face on that day, to swim with him in the river of love forever and ever. Thus, the Lord is so happy that the darling has the same desire, this calling of love. At the last desire of the love in Song of Solomon, the darling knew so well the heart of the beloved. Her hearts and the beloved's are identical. The darling said this sentence before in chapter 2, verse 17, Until the day breathes and the shadows free, turn, my beloved, be like a gazelle or a young stag on clefts mountains. Seems the calling this time is not the same as the earlier one. Definitely it is not the same. There are a few differences between this verse and chapter 2, verse 17. It was the beginning of love between the beloved and the darling in chapter 2, and that is the desire to come. Whereas in chapter 8, she didn't mention anything like the day breathes and the shadows free. Her desire was not due to the situation nor the difficulties, for she longs for the return of her beloved deep in her heart. Why? That's because of love. The more she experienced the love of the beloved, the more she longed to see the face of her beloved. How she longed to live with her beloved. Thus, my heart is more fervent for the Lord's coming compared when I was a young believer. That's not because my body will transform, nor the fear of afflictions. But the Lord is so good and beautiful. I really long for the Lord to come and take me to heaven and dwell with him forever. My heart is the most satisfied. On the other hand, as I mentioned, until the day breathes and the shadows free, that's related to the time, and there is nothing related to the time in these verses. It's only mentioned, Make haste, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or a young stag on the mountains of spices. It gives me the impression that the beloved will come at any time. He is ready, but it has nothing to do with the time. But the most crucial is, are we ready? Have the bride ready for his coming? Have we adorned ourselves? Are the glorious bride waiting for his coming? I really hope there is the most glorious church waiting and welcoming for the coming of the Lord on earth. Brothers and sisters, let us strive hard and establish the church that is after the Lord's heart. May the Lord come soon. The other difference between these two verses is very obvious. I'm sure you all noticed that the verses in chapter 2 mention clefts mountains or mountains of Betha, whereas he mentioned the mountains of spices. If you think further, the inspiration is not the same. Cleft mountain meant destroyment. What it emphasized is separation. But here it is the mountains of spices, which is a lot better. It is full of fragrance. It is delightful and filled with gladness. It emphasized the coming of the beloved is the reunion with the fullness of joy. It is the blissful gathering, full of glory and brilliance. Definitely, the word make haste in the last verse is much sooner than before. Though we don't know which day and when will the Lord come, but it is closer to the days of the Lord's coming. After finishing the Song of Solomon, you will realize there are a lot of things it has mentioned twice. Wilderness have mentioned twice. The same it mentioned the Lord will come twice. Both descriptions of beloved's coming are the same, like a gazelle or a young stag. As I have shared before, it has the meaning of being watchful and fast. The Lord will never be tardy. In fact, he is the one in a hurry. It didn't mention cleft mountains anymore, for there is no more separation. But he is like a gazelle or a young stag to come quickly on mountains of spices. Our bodies will be transformed and be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and we will always be with the Lord. It's not only the love dream of the Lord in the Gospel according to John chapter 17. It is also the love dream of Abba. Abba has joined our eternity together with the Lord's. He longs for us to be in the glory, to be his dear child and the darling of the Lord. I hope every one of us can coordinate with Abba and the Lord's desire to experience and draw near Abba and the Lord, to be encouraged by his love, in order we love God wholeheartedly, to be sanctified to him, and we are obedient to the Lord, to obey his words. The will of Abba and the Lord is the church, the house of God. We shall love one another in one accord and save the world, to preach the gospel for him, to build the church after the Lord's heart. Brothers and sisters, we are not just sit back and relax to wait for his coming. Beloved, may you come soon. Then we shall coordinate with him to integrate his will, and the Lord's will come quickly. The last verse in Song of Solomon has responded to the last prayer in the Bible. Come, Lord Jesus. Well, brothers and sisters, that's all for my sharing. I'd like to share my inspiration of Song of Solomon. I'm really grateful and amazed that there is Song of Solomon in the Bible. It tells us that there is unconditional love in this world. I'm very limited, and I had a lot of deficits. Yet I have gained a steadfast love. I understand more the Lord loves me, not only that I'm saved and don't have to go to hell. What a blissful grace that I can go to heaven. But the heart of the Lord and his desire are far beyond our imagination. His desire is for me, and his heart is captivated by me. His thought of love to me is vast. Even he is willing to give his all in order to be the closest to me. It was my enjoyment to read the Song of Solomon or the message related to this book, whether it was the compliments or the admiration of the Lord. His pursuit of me is delightful to my heart. I knew that I am so valuable in his heart. Once I understood his desire to me, my heart is closer with the Lord, and I find all are so beloved. This love story is superb. It is incomparable. It's so good. We need the Lord very much. Yet I knew the Lord needs me most through the Song of Solomon. Every one of us shall enter into the love of Song of Solomon. Though you have finished Song of Solomon from chapter 1 to chapter 8, I like to encourage you and myself to read a verse in Song of Solomon every day. You will not be sick and tired because you will have some new findings. We have completed the Song of Solomon. What will we read next? I'll tell you later. I'd like to sing a song with you in Hymnal 2, Song 154, Echoes of Love. The contents are crooked from some verses among the 8 chapters in Song of Solomon. I hope you can enter into the love and affection of the beloved and the darling. May you enjoy it every day. May the Lord bless you.